And you know what we used to do for sales? Sir, are you the head of the party? Listen, what I'm going to do for you guys tonight is that this is a family style restaurant and I'm going to pick out the best stuff for you. And then they would say, okay, sure. We pick out the best stuff and then they get the bill, say 20 people, it's $15,000.
Oh, shit. I was a waiter.
Okay.
And I have this epiphany where I really truly believe that every person, man or woman, especially a man though, should at least be a server or bartender or be in the service business for at least a year just to know how to fucking grind and get those tips. Because at the end of the day, a man is a salesman. We have to be a salesman to, you know, in an interview for an employer, we have to be a salesman to women. We have to be a salesman to everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Even if I want to network with you, I have to show what I can offer, what I could offer you, right? So do you believe that every man should at least be in the service business, or at least every person should be in the service business?
Everyone needs to sell, right? Because no matter what business you're in, I don't give a shit what business it's in. And this relates to my business now. Everything is fucking sales. You could be a dentist. You're selling, right? Because there's a million dentists. I mean, it really doesn't matter if you're a restaurant, right? You're selling, you're selling whatever. So your people are only good as you are. So you need to hire good people and be real good. And the place that I worked was Buddha Bar. It was a name, right? It's big in Paris, this and that. But the crazy thing about this fucking restaurant that I worked at, and I can remember this like back in the day, everyone would come at the same time. Because I don't know if anyone's been to Buddha Bar.
Right.
But when they come, they see it at once. Big parties, right? Because this is a big thing. People have their parties. It's at Buddha Bar. And you know what we used to do for sales?
What?
Sir, are you the head of the party? Listen. What I'm going to do for you guys tonight is that this is a family style restaurant and I'm going to pick out the best stuff for you if you're okay with that. And then they would say, okay, sure, pick out me the best stuff, right? And then, we're all in sales, right? So we pick out the best stuff and then they get the bill, say 20 people, it's $15,000.
Oh, shit.
That's the problem with being like the man at a restaurant like that because, New York City prices... This is like pre-COVID. I mean, pre-2000, not pre-COVID. I'm thinking COVID now, but this is pre-2008.
Okay.
Right?
Before the crash.
Before COVID. Like, I don't know if like the viewers know, but before COVID was the crash, right? 2008. And that was a shitty time.
Right.
But before that, everything was popping, right? The early 2000s was like everyone was a G, right? So people used to come to the restaurants. They were stockbrokers, this and that, and they would come and, yeah, no problem. Do whatever. I'll put it on the company card, right? That was a different time. Company card. Right. So, yeah, you would sell because you want to go home with $1,000 as a waiter. You want to go home with $1,500. And in the early 2000s, that was a lot of money.
Yeah. So from being a waiter, you touched upon real estate a little bit. Can you talk about that? How was your journey during, the real estate?
Yeah, well, that's a funny story.
Halfway.
So I always worked in restaurants. And I really didn't know anything about like sending in resumes. So what I did was I took my resume, right? Like this is like I don't know if people realize. I guess I'm dating myself right now, but people don't realize like sending our resume is the norm now. But back in the day, you used to take your resume and you used to go to a place and be like, "Here's my resume," right? Here's my resume. I'm gonna, and see if you can get an interview, right? Yeah. So what I did was I took my resume, like I worked in a restaurant, and I went to every real estate company. A couple of the companies that I got into, they were like, "How the fuck did you get upstairs?" They were telling me like, "Yo, how'd you get in the door?"
Right,
you know what I mean? So that just comes with it. It's kind of like. You got to be confident in yourself. You got to come through the door, but you got to act like you belong there, right? So that was part of it, right? I think that people lose a little bit nowadays the confidence. It's like you got to feel good, and you just got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?